WWE's Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. I can't wait. Honestly, Hell in a Cell matches are so cool usually that this year should be no different. However, at the time of recording, there are 4 matches announced for this pay-per-view. I assume that 1 or 2 more will be made on Smackdown, probably a few on social media as well, but I can't wait any longer. The video's got to be made. We will take a stab-in-the-dark guess at what other matches will come. But first, we have to talk about the theme song. We've all heard it. And I don't know about you, but for me, that creepy-ass music sounds a lot reminiscent of the Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss coming together that we saw on Raw. And for that reason, I think they'll have some kind of big role at Hell in a Cell. What that is, I genuinely don't know. A lot of assumptions being made. It could be Randy Orton with the whole staff that Bray Wyatt pulled out of the box on Raw and the Funhouse. Obviously a throwback to that feud with Orton and Bray Wyatt, so maybe. But let's start with the confirmed matches. And first, we got Jeff Hardy versus Elias. Of course, this all came about when Elias returned, hit Jeff Hardy with a guitar, and Jeff Hardy obviously being accused of running Elias over. He denies all responsibility, but of course Elias angry is, I don't know how I'm supposed to boo Elias for this. The man got run over, come back and tried to get revenge for it. That's not a bad thing, WWE. But personally, I think that Jeff Hardy should win. But I do think they'll give the win to Elias. I think they're trying to build Elias right now. So, Bayley will take on Sasha Banks in a Hell in a Cell match for the Smackdown Women's Championship. I think this feud has been booked perfectly. I genuinely think the former best friends thing in wrestling has been done so many times that when you can still do it and get it to actually really mean something, it shows how successful WWE can be with storytelling. But I'm really struggling with this one because Bayley has had such a long reign as champion that I kind of don't want it to end. But I feel like storyline wise, it's the perfect opportunity to do it. And for that reason, Sasha Banks wins the SmackDown Women's Championship in this match for me. I don't know if it's going to happen. I genuinely think it could go either way, but I'm pretty confident that Sasha's got to win here. I just feel like you can then do a rematch at Survivor Series. The Universal Championship is on the line when Roman Reigns defends against his cousin Jey Uso in a Hell in a Cell match that's not just a Hell in a Cell match. It's an I Quit Hell in a Cell match. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? Obviously, you got to make your opponent quit. And this is part of, again, another brilliant story on SmackDown. Again, I can't fault WWE at the moment. Their storytelling has been really, really good. So, I think for this match, it's obvious Roman Reigns is going to win. I think, we can all see that coming. But the beating he's going to put on Jey Uso, it's going to be something fun. It's going to be violent. And for that reason, I think it's going to be different. Again, when you can do different and still get it to mean something, you know you're onto a winner. And I think Roman Reigns going through this character transformation, this is the perfect way to get him over as this big heel character. Drew McIntyre defends the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Now, this has kind of been mentioned that this will be the last time these two face each other. They have now had so many matches for the title that it feels inevitable that Randy's got to take the title. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Randy Orton becomes a WWE champion. Now, how that happens, I really don't know. I genuinely do feel like the Fiend that will get involved in this match. I just feel it because it makes poetic sense. Obviously, Orton took the WWE title from Bray. Maybe he attacks Drew, therefore allowing Orton to win the belt, to then hopefully take it from Orton in the future. Maybe he waits for Orton to win the belt, then attacks Orton. I just feel like it's time. So maybe Randy Orton, for me anyway, at Hell in a Cell, becomes the WWE champion. Now, as I said, I do think other matches will be added to this card. It could be anything at this stage, let's be honest. But I do think Seth Rollins will have a match. I think his storytelling on SmackDown got off to a great start on the season premiere last week. Obviously with Daniel, Bryan, Ray, Dominic, Murphy. I think maybe Seth versus Murphy for that reason. I think that's always possible. I think that could be made on SmackDown. Maybe like Lars Sullivan gets a squash match against someone or something just to put him on the show. That would make sense. They're trying to get him over. So I could see that happening. Possibly Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. Again, it's a feud we've seen on Raw. It hasn't continued yet on SmackDown. So giving it the blowout at the pay-per-view just could make a bit of sense for WWE. It could be anything. It genuinely could be anything. I'm surprised Asuka's not on the card. Obviously, she is the Raw Women's Champion. So a championship match at a pay-per-view just usually is what happens. But obviously we got one on Raw, so I assume they don't want to do that. Obviously, there's no US title match either. There doesn't seem to maybe be an Intercontinental title feud that they're going to do for Hell in a Cell. So it's up in the air at this stage. I don't know what they're planning. But maybe they just give us longer matches on the show. Fewer, but more content, if that makes sense. And I think that could be okay. Especially with the Hell in a Cell matches. Because there's multiple things you can do different in each match. So maybe we just get a few longer matches, but fewer of them. Maybe. Let me know your thoughts and your predictions in the comment section down below. Make sure you do like this video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I will see you as always next time. Peace!